Hello and welcome to Biology 301, Science, Society, and You. My name is Renee. I'm going to be your faculty member for the semester. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go through the syllabus and kind of highlight the important parts. Make sure you read it, the details of it, because I will hold you to, this is our contract between you and me for this class. So again, my name is Renee Lamontagna. If you ever see me, talk to me, calling me by my first name is fine. If you are on campus, my office number is Updike Hall, which is the new science building, room 225, and that is right across from the fish tank on the second floor. Email, here's my phone number for my office. That is not the best way to contact me. I'm not very good at returning messages just because I forget. So the best way to contact me is through my email address, which is right here. If you are on campus, here are my office hours. On Wednesdays, I will be on Collaborate to talk to you. If you have any questions, you don't have to go to this, but if you do, this is the time I'll be on Collaborate. If there's a time you want to talk to me one-on-one on the phone, if you email me with the issue, I may ask you to send me your number. I will call you and be more than happy to talk to you to go over some stuff if you're confused. Just for the policy on emails, I have 48 hours to respond, not including weekends. So, and if I don't do this, I am not ignoring you. I sometimes I get a ton of emails. I'm department chair. Just contact me again. I'm also on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, if you want to friend me, if you want to message me, do friend me because I run a bunch of Facebook pages for different things that I do. And so if you don't friend me, it's difficult. It's difficult for me to see that message. So just make sure you're friend. You can unfriend me afterwards if you don't want to be my friend. I won't be hurt. Course description, you're going to look at the scientific process and how it interacts with social issues, research ethics, technology, politics, and government. This is a class that is developed and designed to work with students who are working on their bachelor's degree. It's a Human Issues and Dilemmas course. These are the outcomes that you will meet. These are things written by the state. No, this is a writing intensive course. It's also a speaking intensive course. So you're going to be doing some writing and you're going to be doing an online speech, kind of through the same program I'm using, which is called Screencast-O-Matic. So you might want to read through these. Class outcomes, this is the general class outcomes that we run from through our department. This next is a student expectations. This is set by the curriculum committee of Vincennes University. So some people say, I can't believe I have to do this much. I can't believe I have to write this much. This is the way this class is developed. You're getting a bachelor's degree and that needs to mean something. So you want to read these collaborating, critical thinking, speaking activities, reading, writing. The writing I've given you is something you should have experienced when you did ethical thinking in some of your other courses. Reading, I don't have you use a textbook. I have you use two commonly read science books. So it's not real intense. This class is not designed for you to know a bunch of facts. You're going to have to learn relevant facts as it applies to the issues we discuss, but it's more about thinking about how you think about science and understanding the scientific method, understanding the strengths and weaknesses, and then getting into some of the ethical issues that pertain to science in general. Course content, I'll show you that. Here are your two books, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot, and then Pandora's Lab, 7 Stories of Science Going Wrong. You can get them from our bookstore. You can probably get them cheaper from Amazon. You can get the online version, or not online version, but a Kindle version if you want. A used book, it doesn't matter. Do know, and this may be just me, when I use these books in this class, I have to have a hard copy because you're going to have to go back and forth between pages and look up quotes and those kind of things. So if you can do that in a Kindle version, then go ahead and do that. But my recommendation, at least for me, is that I need to kind of have a hard copy of the book with me. Grading policy, 30% of your grade comes from papers, again is mandated by curriculum. You'll do an oral presentation through video, and then several other assignments that will go into the 60%. There's the grading scale. Attendance policy, again, this is going to be different for online classes. Most of you have taken online classes before, but this is not a self-paced class. You have a detailed schedule on what is due each week that you're actually going to print off and take a picture of yourself with the schedule so that I know that you have it. If there is an issue that is going to get in the way, or it starts to get in the way of you completing assignments on time, please, please, please contact me as soon as that problem begins. If you don't hand things in and you don't submit them, attendance on an online class is based on you submitting assignments. If you just stop submitting assignments for a month, I'm going to start sending you warnings. You can't come back a month and a half later and say, oh, I had this major issue. Can I catch up? Blah, blah, blah. The answer is going to be no. Now, if you come to me and say, I have this problem and I may ask for documentation, then I can say, okay, I'll let you catch up with some things, but do not put things off or not tell me where there's an issue and just stop handing things in. That is not acceptable without some verification through me, through an email or a phone call. So again, this just goes through philosophy of attendance. Being there makes a difference. Handing things in makes a difference. I will be, if there's a week you're having a really bad week and you're like, can I have an extra couple days? If you email me and I will send you an email back, then that will be fine. But if you just don't hand it in and it's late, it's going to be late and I'm not going to accept it. So you need to take responsibility for that. I prefer that you withdraw yourself from the class if you think there's going to be a problem. But again, if you're not handing things in, I will send in warnings and then I can ultimately drop you if you miss 2 or 3 weeks of the class. Academic dishonesty. I hold to this very strongly. Everything you hand in, everything you submit will go through SafeAssign, which is a program that compares your paper or your writing to every other thing that's apparently in the world and the internet. So if you take a paper or something from someone that's taken the class before or someone that's in the class currently, it will show up. If that happens, it is a 0 for that assignment. I will report you to the Dean of Students, and I have the prerogative to drop you with an F from the class. So please, please, please do your own work. Like I said, that you're getting into upper level courses now, so the demands for that are higher. In terms of plagiarism, at this point in your college career, when you get to your 3rd and 4th year, you should know what plagiarism is. If you're not sure if something's plagiarized, there's that iffy plagiarism when you're just not sure, then you can contact me. I don't want you using a lot of direct quotes. If you use a quote, then you need to explain the quote so that I understand, that you understand what the quote is saying. So there'll be times when I'll ask you things from the books. Yes, you can put what the book says, but then you have to explain it. So please do your own work. Okay. Disability statement. You don't have any tests in this class because it's not really a test-driven class. But if there's any issues with that, please let me know. Here are where your point totals are going to come from. You're going to do a citizen science project. What this is, you're going to go, and it's explained, you're going to go into what's called zooniverse.com, and you're going to find a project that real scientists are running, and you're going to contribute 3 hours to that project and then collect data and then do a video presentation put together and hand that in. CRISPR-Cas9, this would be your ethical thinking. You're going to work in groups, which again is mandated, to do a poster, which we'll get into that when we get to that time, and I'll give you groups on Blackboard. You're going to do an individual paper on the topic that you did the group poster on. Science, Good, Bad, and Ugly is a section over the scientific method and issues with its strengths and weaknesses. Pandora's book journals and Henrietta Lack's book journals, these are all going to come from the books that you're mandated to get, and with a total of 1,175 points. This next section is the schedule. It looks like week 1 is not there, but I have put a better version of this schedule on Blackboard. But here it tells you the week. Due dates are always the Sunday, the next Sunday by midnight, except for the last week. This tells you what needs to be done for that week and what is due. So we start off, this is week 2. Week 1, there's a few things you need to do, and it goes week by week. So understand that in some points, I'm going to be asking you to listen to podcasts. Some of those podcasts can be an hour, 2 hours long. Please plan ahead accordingly. If you wait until that Sunday morning and then realize you have to read 3 chapters and listen to a podcast, you're going to be having to cram things in. So look ahead at what is going to be mandated, how long you think it's going to take. Please remember, if you were taking this course on campus, you'd be in class 3 hours a day, and I would expect at least 2 to 3 hours outside of class. So it is not beyond reasonable if I'm asking you to do 4 to 5 hours a week or 6 hours a week on this class. That's not going to be every week, but again, some weeks are going to be busier than others. And then it just goes through the scheduling week by week. And again, there's a better one of this on Blackboard. This is the only area right here where you don't have a Sunday due date. The last week you have a Wednesday due date. Again, there's no exams in this class. So everything you're graded on is this. I have rubrics for what I expect from journal entries. I have rubrics for blogs, those kind of things. You'll see those rubrics throughout the grade book as you go through each assignment. So that is just an overview of the class. If you have any more specific questions, when you email me your picture of you with the schedule, please include any questions that you may have, and I will get back to you with answers. Thank you.